Today's location is Cholla Trail on Camelback Mountain in Scottsdale, Arizona. Here I am, 9 o'clock in the morning. Had a long bike ride to get here. Not long, long for me. I'm not accustomed to that. And should be about maybe 4 hours of this. Pretty cool. This is actually, I think this is Paradise Valley, not, I think I left Scottsdale in my rear view mirror. I took a drive today. Not literally, that was a Pearl Jam reference. So here's the trail. Very rocky, as one would expect. And I've only been here going up maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, I think only about 8 or 9 minutes. And as you do these things, I do it a lot, you gain elevation really quickly. These are, I read, some of the most beautiful homes around, in the millions of dollars, these homes, which I guess I don't really care about, but they're obviously very, very nice to see. Like this one. Hello, if you see this, if that's your house and you see it, hello. Very nice. And mountains over there that I guess form the valley, the Phoenix Valley. So we'll see what happens on Cholla Trail, Camelback Mountain. Still on Camelback Mountain, making my way back up. Well, not back up, making my way up. Gets a little steep here. I've read reviews about all these trails that I've hiked this week. This is the fifth one this week, and we're doing another one tomorrow called Siphon Draw. And I've read reviews on the All Trails app, and they're very I don't know what to believe on them. Some of them, you see some people say this was like the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Some people saying like it was so dangerous I had to turn back, and then some people saying like this was easy. The one that we did on Saturday, Tom's Thumb, was rated as being extremely difficult, like the most difficult one in this whole valley out of about 30 or 40, and it was honestly the easiest thing I've ever done in my life in terms of hiking. Very easy. So I don't know how much stock you have to win. I guess the good information to pay attention to is if there's parking. Everybody says bring lots of water. I think that's pretty obvious. Everybody says get here early to beat the heat. That could be obvious. Wear sunscreen, but no, it's good if people talk about if there's parking or if there's a spot to watch out for where you could lose the trail and get lost. But the people that rate it difficult or easy, that's very, very subjective. A lot of the ones that I do in Mexico are much, much, much harder than this, much higher elevation, higher elevation gain, take longer, not marked at all. These are all, for me, these are all very, very easy except for the heat. It's really hot. Even now it's only 9:30 and it's probably, I don't know, 35 or 36 degrees Celsius, so it's very hot. The sun doesn't bother me. I live in a place where there's sun 350 days a year, so that's okay. But the heat, ooh, the heat. Yeah, it's pretty hot. Doesn't really bother me that much, though. I accept it. So, continuing on to the summit of Camelback Mountain. It's time for a little break, a little shade here on Cholla Trail on Camelback Mountain in Paradise Valley, Arizona, AZ. And first shade I've seen on this trail and first break I've taken other than to take these videos. And it's a nice nice view. This is the first time I've seen over this way. And there's downtown Phoenix. That's downtown Phoenix. And right beside it, right there, that's Chase Field, formerly Bank One Ballpark, where the Arizona Diamondbacks play. I'm going there tonight to see Zach Greinke pitch. Diamondbacks are taking on the Dodgers tonight. It's the last game of the year for the Diamondbacks. And I'm gonna finish this, ride back to Tommy's house on the bike, take a shower. I'm gonna take public transportation to the stadium, and Tom's coming from work. He's gonna meet me there. We got our tickets already. For anybody who's interested in my personal affairs. And here's the view where I am. Very nice around here. This is, I guess, Scottsdale and Paradise Valley. Over here. I came up from this way. Gonna continue this way. Not too many people here. It's pretty good. And I'm not sure if that's the summer or the fall summit. Probably a false. I think it goes higher than that beyond. Here come a couple more. It's good, not crowded, but enough people that it gives it a little bit of, I don't know what. So I think that's all for this video. I'm gonna say it again. Where am I? Cholla. Well, I guess Americans or English speakers will call it cholla, which is a type of cactus. Or in Espanol, for the Mexicans, it's cholla. So I'm not sure. I guess locally, I'll call it Cholla Trail. And that's all for this one. Back at Cholla Trail, Camelback Mountain, Paradise Valley, Arizona. Yeah. I think I'm at the last stretch here. This is the part that everybody's saying they're turning back from. You gotta do some boulder climbing here. There's not really a trail or a path. You gotta climb these boulders all the way up there. And honestly, not to be, where's that guy? There they are. Not to be one of those people, but honestly, if this is it, I could take off my shoes and just pour out all my water and run up here. This is, for me, this is okay. Relative to the things that I heard people say about it, it's really nothing compared to what some people, I understand maybe some people, you know, this was their first time doing something like this, so they get a little bit anxious or nervous, but for me this really is nothing. Again, without getting like you know, arrogant about it. I don't want to do this and then I die and people say haha. But I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. So I promise next stop is the top. I think the Scorpions have a song called something like that. Anyway, yeah, here I go. Yes, I did make it. I'm on the summit of Camelback Mountain. And yeah, that last part that I just mentioned, that was the last part. The scrambling, pretty easy as it goes. but here's the 360 panorama. I've talked to a couple of people up here. It's actually pretty quiet. There's just one guy now. This guy in orange just got here a few seconds ago. But I've heard a couple of people saying, it's not that hot today. I guess they're locals, because this feels like the devil's bung. That's how hot it feels to me. But I guess if you live here, you can notice these subtle changes that these people are talking about. It's pretty cool. I was an hour and 42 minutes or something getting up, which I thought was pretty good. I read it's an hour and a half, sorry, 2.5 to 3.5 hours total up and down, which will probably be about right, I guess, by the time I get down. Getting down is always about half of what it takes to get up, for several reasons. And let me go over here just a little bit. What can I say about Camelback Mountain, or about the Chola Trail? That's where I came up. That trail that winds around the mountain. This is the Chola Trail. There's that's Zach. Maybe Zach is watching this on YouTube. He took some photos of me. He's a local guy. He's been coming here since he was a teenager, he said. Very well marked, this trail. Really, really easy. I read some people saying they got lost. They got lost, which I don't know how it's possible. Again, maybe if you've never done this before, but it's pretty easy. Just look for the, if there are no actual signs, just look for the blue markers, and failing that, look for the areas that are kind of worn and smooth and that look like people have been walking on them, and it's pretty easy. So I think that's it. I have nothing else to add, I don't think. No rattlesnakes today, no rattlesnakes this week. That's the biggest disappointment of the week. No, actually nothing, I haven't seen anything. A few lizards and a few squirrels, that's it. I could see those in Mexico. But still, can't beat this. I love it. I think that's over and out from Camelback Mountain, Paradise Valley, Arizona.